Hey guys, it's That Dividend Guy coming at you with another Motley full list. So I'm excited about this one because they have a pretty different range of companies in this, but these are three stocks to buy and hold for the next 10 years. And keep in mind, look at that title, buy and hold. These aren't ones that you want to buy and sell. These have very, very good metrics. They have two really good dividend payers in this list, and then they also have what I believe is a growth stock. It didn't say anything about dividend in the article. So keep in mind, this is for long-term investors, buy and hold oriented investors, disciplined people that will not mind the ups and downs, because a lot of times when stocks like this go down, it's a great buying opportunity. So let's take a look and see exactly what stocks they're talking about today. First, they have Tractor Supply. Depending on where you live and how you live, you may not be too familiar with Tractor Supply. NASDAQ ticker symbol TSCO, but it's been around since 1938, so almost 100 years. That's crazy, and has grown into in its own words, the largest rural lifestyle retailer in the United States. If you're looking for a lawnmower, weed killer, a chicken coop, horse feed, or a kayak, you'll find it at Tractor Supply. With a market value near $21 billion, it recently boasted 1,923 stores in 49 states, along with an active online store. So, guys, they are pretty much the entirety of the United States, and they're doing e-commerce, so that's phenomenal. As a retail chain, it's really important that they do not only have a wide array of stores, so they obviously are getting more foot traffic, but that e-commerce is really important, especially with the coronavirus. That's going to hurt them a lot less, and they're not as dependent. They can still get sales and still have, people purchasing their supplies and stuff like that, and they're not stuck with, almost over 1,900 stores with nobody in them, because they couldn't, people weren't going to retail stores. They were stuck at home. So it's very important for retailers to have a very strong online presence, and Tractor Supply does. The company has been growing well for many years, with the stock advancing by more than 550% over the past decade. So they're talking about the next decade. If you would have held this stock for 10 years already, you'd be over 500% up on your position, which is phenomenal growth, which is an average of 20.6 annually. Keep in mind, guys, the S&P 500 generally yields about 7 to 10% year over year, give or take. That's the average. So you would have guaranteed doubling the market in Tractor Supply in the past decade. That's phenomenal. Now, keep in mind, it's not some high growth tech stock, but they do have some tech in them because they have e-commerce. In fiscal 2020, Tractor Supply generated a record $10.6 billion in revenue, while increasing both traffic to its stores and average customer spending per visit by double digits year over year. Its e-commerce business grew by triple digits. Between 2019 and 2020, Tractor Supply's net income grew by a whopping 43%. So, guys, not only does this boast great has it boasted great numbers for the past decade, it had a record revenue last year. It increased traffic to its retail stores, and those people spent more money by the double digits per customer, which is phenomenal. And their e-commerce business, so online sales, grew by at least 100%, triple digit rates. And their total income boosted by 43%. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal numbers. Tractor Supply even pays a dividend. So not only do you get all that phenomenal growth for the company and the revenue, you also get a dividend with this stock as well. It's not huge, recently yielding around 1.15%, but it's growing very quickly, and that's important. If you have low yield, you want high growth. Over the past 5 years, the payout has grown by an annual average of 21%, and it's spending less than a third of its earnings on dividends, which is really important. Payout ratio is the most important metric when it comes to dividends. The lower it is, the better, because that means that, like it says in the article, they have more room to grow it. That means that they could double their dividend and still have a healthy payout ratio, which is phenomenal. So Tractor Supply Co. is a phenomenally run company. They obviously know what they're doing. They are huge in e-commerce, and they're still doing brick and mortar, but they understand where the future lies, and they're very, very heavy in the future. They're very competitive with Amazon anyway. Next is American Waterworks, and this is one that I've looked into myself. American Waterworks, New York Stock Exchange, AWK, ticker symbol AWK, is another company with a modest but growing dividend. Its payout recently sported a dividend yield of 1.4% and has been increasing at an average annual rate of 10% over the past 5 years. In its own words, the company is the largest investor-owned U.S. states water and wastewater utility company as measured both by operating revenue and population served. Our 7,100 employees provide approximately 14 million people with drinking water, wastewater, and other water-related services in 46 states. As you can imagine, delivering water and related infrastructure services to customers is a dependable business that's not likely to be disrupted by some alternative to water. The company expects to grow its earnings per share by 7 to 10% annually through 2025 in part via acquisitions. Since 2015, it has made 106 water and wastewater acquisitions, adding more than 21,000 customer acquisitions, and it has more than 1.2 million customer connections in its pipeline. In the meantime, the company is increasing its efficiency and looking to upgrade its infrastructure. Guys, they have boosted their dividend by like 56 years now, so they're past Dividend King status. Water is not going anywhere. So odds are if you live in America, they're supplying the infrastructure or to get the water to you. Any business, any any business or recreational home, anywhere, pretty much in the United States, apart from 4 states, American Waterworks serves them. So, odds are if you're getting water out of your faucet, it's getting pumped there by American Waterworks. Next is the most interesting stock on this list, Intuitive Surgical. Ticker symbol ISRG, is arguably the most exciting among these 3 businesses. It's all about robotic surgical equipment, and it has a rather beautiful business model. Most of its Da Vinci systems cost around $1 million to $2 million and once purchased generate recurring revenue indefinitely, as purchasers of the systems have to buy supplies for surgeries and pay for service contracts. The company is performing well, reporting that in 2020 about 1.25 million procedures were performed. That was up only 1% over 2019 levels, but 2020 is a challenging year because of the pandemic, and the company managed to deliver a small increase in earnings per share in the year despite the added challenge. There are already nearly 6,000 Da Vinci systems installed worldwide, and international sales are likely to be a significant growth driver, with the company having begun selling to India and Taiwan only in 2018 and in China in 2019. Other avenues for growth is getting the systems cleared for a wider range of surgeries, and then there are new products that can also drive growth. For example, in 2019, Intuitive's I'm not going to try to pronounce that abdominal system was approved by the FDA to enable minimally invasive biopsies in the peripheral lung. These are only 3 of the many stocks that you might buy and hold for a decade or decades. Sure, you like what you see. If you buy any, remember that sticking to your investments over a long time can make you much wealthier. So if I'm being honest, if I had to pick a stock or like order them from this list, I'm definitely going to pick Tractor Supply first. They have the healthiest payout ratio. They have triple-digit growth. They have stores and e-commerce. They sound like they're just hitting it out of the park in every opportunity possible. They're in most of the United States. I don't know what state. I wish they would have told us what state they're not in, because that would have been funny. But they also are heavy in e-commerce sales, which is very important nowadays. But just every metric was just phenomenal that we went through. They increased their stores. They're in nearly every state. Their income grew by 43%. They have a dividend, which is what I look at. Their payout ratio is around 30%. It's less than, but around 30%. And the dividend's grown by 21% on an annual average for the past 5 years. That's phenomenal. That's a dividend growth investor's dream right there. They're increasing sales in every category. They have a dividend, which is great. They're increasing it by double-digit rates. And they have a 30% payout ratio. and they're generating cash like a machine. It sounds like they're just printing money. So they obviously have enough cash flow to maybe even double or triple that dividend from the sounds of how much they're growing. Then, of course, it's going to be American Waterworks. Everybody drinks water. Everybody needs water. It's something that we need to survive. So that's a no-brainer, but it's definitely number two because I know I've done research on American Waterworks. They do bump up the dividend. They have a great 56 or 57 years of growth, something like that. It's past 50 years, but it's really minimal every year. So I definitely want Tractor Supply Co. first because that dividend's growing a lot faster, a lot more aggressively, and the sales definitely help with that dividend growth since they're generating so much cash flow. American Waterworks is a utility, so they do have kind of a monopoly, but the problem is they can't boost it up very much because the only way that they're going to get more money is if they upcharge for water or if they do acquisitions through buying other companies, which is obviously what they've been doing. But Tractor Supply is a lot. It sounds like they're a lot more aggressive when it comes to growing the dividend specifically. American Waterworks hasn't beat by the number of years, but the percentage is a lot stronger with Tractor Supply, so that's why I put Tractor Supply first. And then it didn't say anything about an Initiative Surgical about a dividend at all. Probably not. Sounds like a growth company. For you growth investors, it might be something you want to look into. I am a dividend guy. Obviously, that's the name of the channel. So it's not for me, but it does sound really cool and might be something to add to the watch list just to watch it. But keep in mind, guys, these are long-term plays for the next 10 years. So I'm 25 right now. I wouldn't mind holding Tractor Supply for 10 years. So that's definitely my favorite. Let me know if you guys own any of these stocks down in the comments below. If you do, let me know how long you've held them or how long you plan on holding them. According to Motley Fool, they say the next 10 years. So we'll see. But with that being said, guys, keep in mind I've been doing a portfolio update every day, and I've been doing a list every single day. That's going to be the new schedule. I want to get 2 videos out every single day for you guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the consistency. Let me know. If you're liking the list, let me know. It's always really good to get feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another Robinhood portfolio update for Tuesday and another stock list. So thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.